Today I'm making cinnamon roll cookies. I'm using a wonderful recipe from Cookies for Days, but I decided to put a little 4th of July touch on these, and I think they turned out so cute. First you start by making the cinnamon filling. In a small bowl, add 1/4 cup of partially melted butter, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1 1/2 tablespoon of flour, and 1 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Mix until it's completely smooth, then spread it onto a parchment-lined baking sheet until it's about 1/4 inch thick. Place that right into the freezer until you need it later. Now for the cookie dough. Cream together 1 cup of salted butter and 1 1/4 cups of sugar. Quick tip. The original recipe called for half butter and half margarine, but I decided to use all butter. Next, scrape the bowl and add 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of light corn syrup, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla, mixing it until it's well combined. Next, add 2 1/2 cups of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Once that's ready, pull your cinnamon filling out of the freezer and cut it into small squares. I found that a pizza cutter works perfectly for this. Add the cinnamon filling squares straight into the dough and gently mix. I actually ended up switching to mixing by hand here to try not to break up those filling pieces too much. Then scoop the dough onto your baking sheets. I always use a cookie scoop to keep them a perfectly uniform size. Bake at 350 degrees for 9 to 11 minutes and allow them to cool right on the baking sheet. Once they are completely cooled, drizzle the cookies with melted white chocolate. And to make them extra festive for the 4th of July, I added red and blue sprinkles. These turned out so incredibly good, and the best part is you can easily make them with or without sprinkles depending on the occasion. Thank you so much for watching, happy baking, and have a blessed day.